Hi, and welcome to a live reading from Love Only Better by Paulette Stout, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1. It wasn't as if the words were unexpected. Hell, Rebecca said them to herself 1,000 times over, only this was different. Hearing someone else say them, someone she loved, someone who shared her life in her bed for 3 years, somehow made them true. And to have Ethan say them, for him to let them free that way. Now, they were alive to reverberate throughout the universe and rebound on her in unforgiving ways, and he'd no longer be around to save her. Frigid. Ice Queen. Who calls someone they love an ice queen? Rebecca wondered. That's the ticket. Ethan didn't love her. Had he ever? Or was she just a bad lay, a notch on his belt, not even a trophy, a third-place yellow ribbon no one wanted, abandoned in the bottom of a drawer? A wisp of spiderweb dangling from her headboard above fluttered in time with her cleansing breaths. Dust-covered. Abandoned. Even the stupid spider hadn't stuck around. Frigid. Ice Queen. She flipped over covers to snatch a tissue from across the room, wiping her eyes and nose before tossing it into the wastebasket under her old desk. The desk in name only. Even back in high school, she did her homework on her bed. The desk chair, like now, was a glorified staging area for clothes somewhere between clean and dirty. Did she still have it? She yanked the center drawer open and pawing the time capsule within. Old lipsticks, diaries, hair elastics, the wallet-sized card reproduction of her university diploma, tarot cards, and there it was, her third-place ribbon. She won it at a summer camp for archery. She'd never held a bow before then or since, but there it was, evidence that she was once good enough at something to warrant recognition. The silky cord slid between her fingers until hitting the tassel knot. So fitting. Third place. Rebecca was third place in her own life, too. She was certainly last place to Ethan. He was probably off finding himself a blue ribbon sex machine worthy of his majesty, even at this hour. New York City never sleeps, after all. Growing up in the belly of Manhattan, the buzz of life at all hours was as natural as air. The humming streetlights, the shadows, everything held a pulse, teeming. Except for her. Rebecca was the one spot of lifelessness in the whole city. Frigid. Ice Queen. She dropped the ribbon in the drawer and slammed it shut, then quickly froze. Alert, she listened for sounds of stirring. Barbara, her roommate and best friend, was fast asleep in the next room. A lawyer with a big day in court ahead. Rebecca released her breath, then strode back to bed, flopping on top of her navy down comforter and making herself a burrito with its folded edges. It was as close as she would get to an embrace for who knows how long. Wiggling for her night table, she switched off the light. Shadows formed at familiar angles on her ceiling, the ceiling she'd pondered for 28 years. Framed pictures of Salvador Dali and Kandinsky hung over her low, long dresser, once filled with frilly pink play clothes, now stuffed with t-shirts and leggings in mismatched shades of black. Her collection of discount designer shoes spilled out of the closet, distractions for the shortcomings of her noir wardrobe. Her eyes drifted closed. Ethan's contorted red face jolted her awake. Would she ever sleep again? Would she ever love again? Would anyone ever love her? Was she even worthy of being loved? She wasn't sure. On cue, her nemesis, the mourning dove, made a fluttery landing on the air conditioning unit blocking half of her window. The distinctive coo was maddening. Was that how Ethan felt when she was unable to climax in bed? A fury of frustration without an outlet? Rebecca abandoned covers and leaped to battle stations. The vinyl shade creaked its objection as she bent it up to spy on the enemy. The pink towel she put out to dull the air conditioner drips from upstairs had become a bird magnet. Twigs, leaves, tinsel. Where did they find tinsel in June? Shoo! Shoo! Rebecca whisper screamed, banging on the glass with her fist. The dusty bird settled in. Go on! Go! Are you fucking kidding? It's 4 a.m. Barbara shouted through the wall. Sorry! Rebecca hollered back, watching the bird tuck its wings for sleep. There was a beat of silence. Shit, Barbara muttered. Rebecca heard her feet hit the floors and stormed down the parquet hallway, a staple of 1950s New York City apartments. The bathroom door closed. Rebecca dropped the shade and collapsed into the cup of her Papa Sun chair under the window, drawing a branded fleece blanket over her. It was one of the many freebies she got from working in advertising. This one was from her hotel client. After the flush and wash, Barbara exited, then walked through Rebecca's perennially open bedroom door and switched the light on. Her hand shielded her eyes from the sudden brightness. Barbara stood in a pink satin Victoria's Secret nightie, a matching sleep mask holding up her long, dark locks, a top-shelf weave, and proudly not hers, flowing over her ebony shoulders. What the hell are you doing up? I'm so sorry. Jesus, what happened? What do you mean? You look like a clown on acid. Rebecca crawled out of the saucer and stood in front of the mirror. Yeah, not my best look. Black mascara streaked down her face from the blotchy eyes she'd been rubbing for hours. Where's Ethan? I thought he was staying over. Gone. Gone home? No, just gone. We're done. Well, actually, he was done with me. Oh, wow, I'm so sorry, but not as sorry as you should be for waking me up, Barbara said, launching herself to Rebecca's bed and sliding her sleep mask down over her eyes. That's it. That's all the consoling I get. I have a blowout with my boyfriend who calls me a frigid ice queen and leaves, and he didn't, Barbara said, lifting up on her elbow and raising her mask. Oh, yes, he did. You're not an ice queen. You know that. Counselor, the evidence is overwhelming. He's a jackass. I've always thought so. Oh, he's not that bad. Barbara raised an eyebrow. Come on. I won't lie to you and say I'm disappointed he's gone. But I am, Rebecca whispered. All I mean is he didn't treat you right. You can absolutely do better. Barbara patted the bed next to her. Rebecca folded her arms and looked away. You can do better. Ethan will regret losing you, and you'll look back and not regret losing him. Rebecca pouted her bottom lip. Suit yourself. I must sleep more, though. Barbara left the bed, popped a squeaky kiss on Rebecca's forehead. Leave that damn bird alone, will you? She said before leaving. You left the light on, Rebecca called after her, but Barbara's bedroom door closed with a click. Sighing, Rebecca crawled out of the chair and crossed the room to switch off the light. Dawn's blueness was already invading. She looked at her bed, but instead returned to sit under her fleece blanket, gathering it about her. Maybe she could sleep if she was out of bed, away from his smell. She'd have to change the sheets later. She wanted to change everything, beginning with herself.